Bitcoin and Cardano enter the resistance storm as this YouTube channel's production quality also enters a bit of resistance. But it's all good because I'm going to break down the charts on the short term, tell you exactly what you need to anticipate going into this weekend. What is up, everyone? Welcome to Crypto Capital Venture. Hit that subscribe, hit that like on the way in. I am traveling right now. Big day today, everybody. And I wasn't going to do a video, but I wanted to just, and I know I'm sorry the quality's not great. It's tough for me to get used to this, but there's a lot of things happening right now on the short-term charts that I wanted to get this data out to you, what to track, what to watch for, what I'm watching for, kind of going into overnight. It's cool to see Bitcoin moving to the upside, but there's a lot of resistance right now. And this is where we start tracking confirmation. That's why we do technical analysis. We're at a really huge fork in the road for Bitcoin. The bulls or the bears are just at it right now. So let's talk about this and then we'll pivot over to Cardano. This is Bitcoin video from just 2 days ago. Real quick clip. So that's the move. We were below a huge resistance area, and now we are in it. Now we're in the resistance storm. And I want to go over here real quick, a 6 hour. You can see some notes I have on the screen. That is a neckline, something we were also talking about in that video. I believe it was that video. Huge just setup for Bitcoin to make the move into the resistance area that it's now in, which is, and it's not a perfect looking inverse head and shoulders by any means, but it's a true story being told. The bears, back to the bulls, left shoulder. Bears step in, a little stronger. Bulls step in. Bears one more time, right shoulder. Bulls to the neckline, breakout. That's where we are right now. That's a big move for Bitcoin. We wanted to see that happen. It has happened, but we're in the eye of the resistance storm. There's no better way to put it. And what that is it's a 618 line of the Fibonacci here to the 786 right here. And then just above that, we have just this entire gap leading into the lower trend line of this pretty large rising wedge. Bitcoin fell through to the bottom. We had a breakout to the bottom. But there are some good signs happening for Bitcoin right now that say, okay, the bulls have a shot here. And real quick, I do want to chart this Fibonacci. This is the swing high to that swing low that we had. And you can just see that green channel there, 786 up here to the 618. That's the area of resistance we were looking to get back into. And now we're there on the 6 hour chart. So what we're looking for is the continuation of this inverse head and shoulders for Bitcoin's targets. I mean, really, it's back into the apex of this rising wedge. What's really cool about this setup is the fact that if you go over here to Bitcoin on the daily chart, all while that's happening, this is what the Bitcoin chart is looking like. This is a break through the lower trend line, through the 50-day moving average, all the way down, and a pullback up through the 50-day moving average. Now we're putting in a daily candle right now, and there's still 21 hours left of this. This is what we need to watch for. 21 hours left for this daily candle to see if we can close a full candle above the 50-day moving average. That 50-day moving average right around 56,900 to 57,000. Let's just call it 57,000. And Bitcoin is testing the resistance here at the same time. So what we need to watch for in the short term is bullish confirmation. And what that looks like is Bitcoin making a move to the 786 up here, right around $61,000. Can Bitcoin see continuation to that area, or are we just going to see already immediate resistance at this entire Fibonacci resistance and not even break into this area? Because remember, we're looking for a pullback here. And I think it's 70% of the time we see pullbacks, meaning we break the lower trend line, pull back to the trend line, and that is not even a confirmed bullishness. The confirmed bullishness is Bitcoin breaking into the apex and truly actually breaking to the upper trend line of the apex. So in pullbacks, often we can see Bitcoin fail and come back down. That's something we have to be careful of. What's really cool is the fact that Bitcoin, if it does revisit, depending when it does it, if it revisits its lower trend line, it could simultaneously be testing its all-time high, potentially even breaking an all-time high, depending on when it tests the lower trend line. So just really interesting things happening on this chart for Bitcoin going into the beginning, or I guess this weekend into the beginning of next week. And this is what we have to track. And it starts right here on this crucial Fibonacci resistance, but really good stepping stone for Bitcoin coming from this video the other day, 55,100, talking about Bitcoin needing to get into this area. And look where we are. Bitcoin is in the area now. It's in the eye of the storm. How is Bitcoin going to interact with this area? Let's pivot over to Cardano, because if you're long on Cardano, you know how you've just needed to be patient with the consolidation that it's seen. And just if you're somebody out there that's like, come on, do something. I can't stress this enough, and I know I say it all the time. This right here, the sideways consolidation after all of these gains that Cardano has seen over all of this time is good. It's just, if you could just come up with the energy to remain patient in all of these markets, the volatility of these markets. If you're long-term bullish, when you see things like this, there's nothing better to see actually in the middle of a bull market than what you see on the Cardano chart. There's no guarantees. And I operate all of my technical analysis videos in the back of my mind telling myself, you know what? At the end of the day, even as I'm investing and accumulating over the years, I always tell myself the extreme. Bitcoin, Cardano, altcoin, things could fail. Something bad could happen. They're crashing. Always want to keep that in mind. But from a technical perspective, these are the things that do look like bullish setups. And it is what it is. It's just a bullish looking chart on the weekly. So I wanted to get that out of the way. But really, let's kind of dig in here to the daily chart and talk about what's going on. One thing to note, Cardano has already broken above the 50-day moving average the other day, around $1.20. That was a big move. And we're seeing exactly what we want to see any coin to do once breaking back above. Cardano has been trading above it, closing candles above it. But notice, huge resistance at this lower trend line for days. You think it's any coincidence that that's occurring right now? We've been tracking this triangle for so long, and here we are at the apex resistance, lower trend line resistance. It is just 100% normal. It's so expected, and I don't use that word a lot, expected, but we got the break to the downside, very similar to Bitcoin. We always look for pullbacks also in ascending triangles, and here's the pullback. Again, the bullish confirmation, not there yet. And then kind of piggybacking on that a little bit, if you go to the 6-hour chart, Cardano right now, swing high to that swing low, very similar to Bitcoin. Cardano struggling here at the resistance, 618, right around $1.33 or so, to the 786, around $1.43. So you can just see now Bitcoin and Cardano at the same time testing resistance. Here's the Fibonacci resistance, almost identical to Cardano. This is on Bitcoin entering that resistance. And then Cardano has been in it already and been testing it. What we're looking for Cardano, a move, and look at the confluent resistance at this line right here. Lower trend line, confluent resistance with the 786. It's like $1.43, $1.42 for Cardano. I mean, I would say right now, because this is going to progress quickly. This is a 6-hour chart, but today, into tomorrow, $1.41 to $1.43 or so. Huge resistance for Cardano. If you see Cardano get any type of move, what's going to happen here? Is it going to stall out, come back down, test maybe the 618 down here for some support? This is what I'm watching on Cardano, but I had to do a video tonight because I know it's like every day is kind of urgent, right? Something's always happening. Like this was urgent. There's so many urgent things happening on these screens all the time. But right now, look how close we are to just potentially a very bullish confirmation, breaking this resistance area. And it's a very small range. That's the other thing I should note. From where Cardano is right now, it's like 5% away, 5 to 6% away. All the while, similar to Bitcoin's inverse head and shoulders that we just discussed, kind of breaking above this neckline, Cardano putting in a very similar type of story here with an upward sloping inverse head and shoulders, pretty confluent with the lower trend line. So that neckline, trend line area is so big right now for Cardano to break above. That's what I'm watching for Cardano as it trades just below $1.36. So that's what I'm watching on the short-term charts. This is what I'm going to be watching, everybody. We're waiting for bullish confirmation. Be careful out there. I don't want to say this is like a warning video, but this happens. Break to the downside, pullback, continuation to the downside. This could be a lower high from its all-time high. And the same exact thing for Bitcoin, right? Break to the downside, pullback. This was the all-time high. This could be a lower high. Be careful for that. Just anticipate all scenarios is all I'm saying. So this is what I'll be tracking. I appreciate each and every one of you dealing with this. Just probably, I don't even know. I like being in the studio. You know what I'm saying? I like the good quality stuff. And, but we're enjoying ourselves here. And I appreciate you cruising by, watching, and we'll see how this plays out overnight. Hit that subscribe, hit that like. I really appreciate your support as we grow this thing. And we'll see what these two coins do going into the hours and days ahead. Have an awesome night. God bless.